on blast.
My whip drop like bitches' asses. Cargo, ready to package. Paid up. I see haters watching, so fucking turn it up. Let these bitches drop it.
And ladies and gentlemen, we seem to be rolling. Start this off properly one time. Shout out. New theme music for the On Blast podcast. Really not, but I got a new soundboard, so I'll be playing with some stupid ass sound effects over the next time we are chilling together.
Personally, I like it. I think it's off to a good start. I like it. I enjoy it.
I'm glad you like it. Let's see what else we got here before we get into something more serious. That's enough for me for now.
That might be one of my favorite things ever. Who doesn't like a little Leroy Jenkins?
I don't know what that is. What is that?
Not familiar with what Leroy Jenkins is. There's a YouTube video of some kid playing some video game. What is a video game? I don't even remember what the video game is. Mm-hmm. Does anyone know what the video game is?
I have no idea.
I don't play video games.
I'm like fully lost.
But anyways,
in this whole
basically,
situation.
like it's one of those video games that you play with like a group, and you're on like you're with a team, your squad.
Oh,
and there's supposed to be some sort of strategy in terms of how you, I don't know, save the princess or whatever random game it is. I don't know. But this guy tries to just go off by himself. So it's like they have the headsets, you know, so you're recording the conversation that all these losers are having in their basement playing this game together. And the one guy just decides to break off and go off on his own instead of doing like the team mission. And what happens is he just basically announces like, fuck it, I'm going in. He's like, here I go, Leroy Jenkins. And then like dies.
Nice.
And then proceeds to die.
I appreciate that. Well, I'm glad we have it with us here this afternoon, evening.
My name is not Leroy Jenkins. My name is Sheldon. But maybe it should be Leroy Jenkins.
Oh, no, we're not going there yet. It's too early. Too early in the podcast for that type of stuff.
For the racist talk?
There we go. We're a bit too early. I is the AB. We are here together again for another week of banter with our special and always favorite guest, Mr. Ryan DL.
I'm a guest?
I don't know. It just came out that way.
Yes, this is Brian DL. I had 2 beers at work and I need lunch, so let's fuck.
Yeah. We got a lot going on. A lot that I was thinking about over the past week. You know, since we've been back, we obviously did the pod last week, and a lot's happened since. And now, as things have happened, I've thought to myself, let me make a mental note, because I would like to mention this during the pod. But first, before we get to that, I know we spent a lot of time talking sports last week. And not to dominate the sports talk again, but I feel like we got to talk a little bit about the Raptors. The Raptors just clinched making the playoffs through no fault of their own because they've been losing. Yeah. But they've clinched the playoffs.
Oh, God. This is going to be unlistenable, this fucking soundboard.
No, but it is cause for celebration. We're in Toronto. We're not used to this playoff stuff, especially 2 years in a row from the same team. Yeah, so we'll take it.
2 years in a row, team that plays American teams is in the playoffs. I think this is something to be happy about.
Agreed.
You know?
Agreed.
Come on now.
Are you worried, though, after the back-to-back? We're taping this on Thursday, so the Raptors just lost back-to-back games, one to the Bulls and one to the Detroit Pistons.
Yeah, that was...
Are you guys worried?
I don't know. I didn't see too much of yesterday's game, although I just saw the highlight when DeRozan passed it to Noah, who plays for the other team and was standing at the bench. So that was like...
Pretty much sums up the Raptors' play since the All-Star break.
Yeah. It was a bit weird. I saw the game versus Detroit, though, and say what you want to say, whether there was a play called at the end or not.
So let's get into this because my Twitter feed was blowing up because I ride with Lou Will. I'm not going to lie.
Twitter fucking feed on fleek.
Yes, something like that. But here's my thing, okay? So those of you who might not have seen the game, what happened was the Raptors down to the lowly Detroit Pistons mount a massive comeback, only to be down 2 with 1 possession left in the game. Lou Williams decides he's going to just ISO, hold the ball, jacks up a tray from hella deep and misses.
That was pretty hard.
And then every Raptor fan is pissed. I blame Dwayne Casey for not calling a play.
But what if he did call a play?
He says he did call
He
a
says he did call a play.
play. And Lou says he didn't. Who knows what really happened? But I ride with that Lou Williams shot.
I don't.
I'm in the minority.
Okay, so I'll preemptively accept your apology. Actually, someone tweeted the other day, and I took a screenshot of it in terms of how many. So, like, at the start of the year, he had a ton of 3 balls at the end of quarters and halves, and just the game to win the game.
Fact.
Or to, yeah, and he did, like, but we definitely sort of overemphasized like the ones that we remember, and we kind of forget the clankers and the bricks and what have you. So here are the stats. Well, actually, I should probably ask you guys. So, like, clearly Lou Williams has taken the most end of quarter shots, not including heaves. How many do you think he's taken?
End of quarter shots?
End of quarter, end of
Any
half,
quarter?
Any quarter.
The season?
This season.
I don't know. I'm gonna go with like 20.
98.
Oh wow. Okay. Okay.
Sorry, this is about the
Okay.
Raptors specifically, but
What's the next highest?
the next highest in the league is James Harden at 73.
Oh.
Okay. Well, he's in the conversation for like league MVP. So
Yeah. Okay. Well,
You
no.
know.
Well, we'll get to that. How many of those shots has Lou Williams made?
out of the 98,
Yeah.
I'm going to go with like 15.
I'm gonna go like lower than that. I'm gonna go like lower than 10.
They're actually 27.
Oh.
But
okay.
hold up. But you guys
Okay.
are like, oh, great. That is a 27% field goal percentage. Okay.
Okay.
So from what I recall, most of them are 3 balls where like it's pure isolation. Everyone's
Yeah.
sitting on the outside doing nothing.
Yep.
And then he's just like, I'm going to hot sauce this guy. And then he just jacks up a 3 and like every time.
Shout out to Hot
So,
Sauce.
and
the professor!
Oh, I'm late on the sound effect. Anyway, fine, keep going. Don't allow me to interrupt you.
So, of those 98 shots, how many of them are 3 balls?
Sorry, I was a bit delayed
90
there.
of them?
A beer?
Out of the 26, how many were 3 balls?
Yeah.
Like 25 of them?
55.
Oh, God.
How many does he hit?
I'm going to go with like less than 10%.
10.
He has hit 9 for 16%.
Okay.
So the next closest is I mean, it's end of quarter. You're obviously like against the wall.
Yeah, you just jack.
So
what if it's the first quarter
So
or-
your shooting percentage isn't going to be particularly high. The next closest in general with shots at the end of the quarter is Lowry, 22 for 55 for a 38% shooting percentage.
It's a bit better.
Yep.
DeMar 10 for 27 for a 37% shooting percentage. The only one on the team, with the exception of apparently Bruno Cabalco took one, but the only one on the team who's lower in terms of percentage with a reasonable amount of attempts is Terrence Ross. He was 4 for 15 with 26% as opposed to 27%.
Okay.
So when it comes down to the league, like, I actually don't know. This is a bit more visual, so I don't know if I can articulate this particularly well. But on the x-axis, maybe I shouldn't get into this. Lou has a very low shooting percentage, and he is the worst person that you want taking your last shot in the game.
But
Okay.
like, this is the
Here-
thing, though, right? Like, he makes a lot of those threes. I don't
Well,
agree
no.
with all
I
those
just
threes.
told you that he didn't. I told you that he's made a few because he's taken so many attempts. He just does not make those shots. So that's so it's just not something that he should be doing anymore. I mean, like, numbers don't lie.
Of course, yeah. I guess he's just one of those streaky players.
Well,
you
no,
know.
but as said, so earlier on in the year, the Raptors were doing great, and everyone was really high on them. And if in the third quarter when we're up by 10, he clanks a 3 and it doesn't go in, like you forget about it. But you remember the ones where he just like drops some 3 in someone's face at the end of the second quarter. But frankly, he just does it too much, and he's not particularly successful at it. So no, it was the wrong call, whether it was him or Casey.
And that's the whole thing too, right? I think in that particular instance, you play for the tie. You get an easy 2.
Okay.
That's just my opinion. Whoever takes the shot, I just think you go for a 2.
Not to mention, it was a 3 like 5 feet out from the 3-point line.
For sure.
I
think someone pointed out, it might have been McAuliffe actually, someone on TV, someone legitimate, pointed out, I think like his foot was on the logo of the Pistons, right?
Oh my God.
So I get all that.
That should count for 4.
I get all that, and I understand all that, and I will start from the viewpoint of saying I blame Dwayne Casey more than I blame Lou Williams.
Yeah.
And here's the reason why. Lou Williams has been in the league. He's what you would call a veteran player in the league. He's been there for a while. He's made his claim to fame, so to speak, as being a gunner. He is a professional scorer. The only thing he does well is shoot contested shots and make said contested shots. You know what Lou's going to do.
Yeah.
So when you see him dribbling the ball up the floor with 20 seconds left in the game, and he has the ball and nobody calls a timeout, nobody calls a play, you know that shot's going up.
Yeah.
So who's to blame when he takes the shot? Is it Lou or is it Casey? It appears to me that the rest of the team was okay with Lou taking the shot.
I doubt the rest of the team was okay.
But I mean,
with that.
why?
I think when they watch him and he's like no isolation, like stand at the corners, like the rest of the team is just like maybe we move around and we get a cleaner look rather than you just hot saucing this guy.
I'm not saying it was a good shot, but I'm saying that's what Lou does. So
maybe you should do that on the bench.
Shots fired. Where's my shots fired?
I don't know if I agree with.
Here?
I just think that if there is no Lou, especially with Lowry out for a big stretch of the season, especially with DeMar out for a big stretch of the season,
don't get me wrong.
We need Lou. And at the end of the game, you need guys with nuts. And at the end of the Chicago game, the Raptors, it looked like Terrence Ross didn't want anything to do with shooting the ball. DeMar kept driving and passing the ball, including passing it to Joakim Noah.
Yeah,
right?
that was weird.
Nobody wanted to shoot except Grievous, who bricked 2 threes down the stretch, and then they brought in Lou. Lou wants it. You need guys with nuts. And Kenny Smith, I always go to this all the time because I love my TNT panel, but I love Kenny. Kenny Smith says this all the time. I love Kenny. Kenny says this all the time. He says, sometimes we overanalyze a game of basketball in the NBA. The NBA is a superstar-driven league, which, no, Lou's not a superstar, but it's a make-or-miss league.
Yeah.
And so a lot of times, these guys are in the NBA because they can get their shot off. They can get a shot off anytime they want. So it comes down to you make it or you miss it. And in the case of the Raptors, maybe the issue isn't so much Lou Williams, it's on more DeMar. Like, why, if you're supposed to be the all-star, and especially with Lowry not there, why aren't you taking said shots? But we know he doesn't have the nuts to do that. It's on Lou.
Well, I don't know. I would have assumed that the ball should have gone to DeMar maybe in that case. But honestly,
we know
it's
DeMar
Detroit.
is clutch.
But why? No. But why would you assume that? Because the numbers I just gave, Lou Williams takes that shot every time.
Well, I'm saying,
So again,
Lou Williams
gotta
almost
be a
never
direction.
makes that shot.
Like, it's
But hold
gotta
on.
be
Again, for it to get up to 90 some odd shots, isn't that on Dwayne Casey to stop it
Exactly.
after
It's
72 or 65
I hear what you're saying.
or 52
I
or
hear what you're saying. I
29?
think there's blame to go around, but I think you're doing some mental.
Whoops. Sorry.
All right.
That was a
See
mistake.
what I said? It's going to be unlistenable. Like, who knows what's happening? Any sound can come from this. I hear what you're saying. I do think there's a little bit of blame to go around, but I do think because you like Lou Williams, as I do, in spite of what I just said, you're doing a bit of mental gymnastics to sort of take the
I fully admit
blame
my
off
bias.
him. I like sorry, I don't want to frame it as I don't like Lou Williams. I think he's great. I think he's won us a lot of games. He's a great guy off the bench. But this isn't the first time that he has
1000%.
that he has acted like he's playing like a one-on-one game at
Totally.
the end of a quarter. Like he like that's his thing.
But
like he gets high off the fact that like the horn goes when the ball's in the air, and that I could give 2 shits about how high he gets off that.
True.
I would rather some grinder get a shitty bucket.
But the
throw it
asshole-
inside. Move the ball around.
Well,
Throw it
that's the
inside.
thing, right?
Get a foul.
It should have been, in my opinion, should have been a go for tie, go for two. Also, I was going to say, it's fucking Pistons. You should be up by 10 at that point in the fourth quarter.
Which, for sure, you're right.
Right? And it's like, shout out to Reggie Jackson, their rookie point guard who smashed the game. And he looks a lot like
AKA Bobby Shmurda.
And I was about
Yes.
to tweet that last night, but I was too
Yes.
vexed with how the Raptors were playing. You know what I'm saying? I just wanted to focus my hatred and energy on that.
It
But he is
pissed me
very
off.
Bobby Shmurda in the face.
And he was shmoney dancing all over us.
All day.
Especially
and,
T-Ross.
And that's the thing. Oh, but you know what? Leo was trying. Nice.
It's Bobby Shmurda.
Dope. But that's the thing. I think Leo was saying, it was Leo that was calling the game last night, I think.
It was like, I had a piece of toast the other day. That was quite
But
enjoyable.
he was like, Terrence Ross is playing such good defense against Reggie Jackson. I'm like, dude, are you out of your mind?
Yeah, like,
He's getting
when
shook
and
up
where?
every which way sideways and can't play defense on this guy. Can't
For sure.
contain him.
I think
Lowry, just before I pass it on, he should have probably not started that game.
shouldn't have played.
You know what I'm saying?
Just rest him. Make sure he's fine
weird.
for the playoffs, right?
Yeah. Anyways.
Yeah, I just think that like the one thing that we all have to remember is that same like cockiness that makes Lou Williams bring us back when we're down, whatever, is the same cockiness that allows him to take dumbass shots like that. Like you almost don't have one without the other, and that's why like he is where he is as a sixth man and not like some starting all-star on a team.
There are different
know what I mean?
grades of dumb shot though, and I think that was a dumb shot. I didn't watch most of that game, but I did watch the final quarter, and as said, it was a 2-point game. They were down by 2 points.
Yeah,
Like,
and they had some time too.
But exactly, they had like 12 seconds, or
Something like that, yeah.
Oh no,
Anyways.
they had full like 20 whatever.
Oh, did
seconds,
they?
full shot clock. Like
There was
everything
time.
else.
So he
There
was
was
just
time.
like, "Oh, hot sauce!"
Yeah,
oh,
basically.
He like waved off the screen and everything.
Yeah,
like when he was
exactly.
coming to set a
God.
screen, he like waved him off. Like
So,
I got this.
So my issue is him like trying to be the hero, and frankly, he's not the hero. He has been the hero, and he's looking to be that 3-ball when you're down by 2 guy.
Oh, yeah, he's going for the win.
And he's done it before, and he'll do it again. But if you want to win the game, it's not really something you can necessarily rely on. As said, his points, his shooting percentage in that, what did I say? It was like 16% or something.
Yeah,
something
in that situation by 3, like. Okay, 16% chance that black and brown will be all over you at the end of the night.
Wait a minute. Did we
Yeah,
go there?
what-
Did we go there?
Do you guys not know what that?
have
Black
no
and
idea what
brown
you're
are his
talking
2 girlfriends.
Oh.
But so 16%, 16% chance that
gonna let
you'll
that
be a
go.
hero. Any of us would take that any time of the day, and that's fine. That's the way people react.
Lou's gonna Lou.
Sorry?
I said Lou's gonna Lou.
He's gonna do his thing.
And frankly, considering that maybe like he is a very good scorer. He's a pure scorer. Like I mean that's sort of what
Professional
yeah. He's a professional scorer. He's like it's funny you see these players that get moved around a lot. I remember Devin Martin was like that. Or sorry, what's his name? Sorry, Kevin Martin was like that. And you'd be like, how is this guy who scores like 25 points a game just moving around so much and no one likes him?
Because it's all he does.
Because it's all he does. So you need to sort of ring that in quite a bit. And I wouldn't necessarily put that on Casey. The guy's getting you back in the game by scoring, but he needs to understand. Like Casey or someone needs to literally tell him, you don't take these shots anymore.
True.
Like if you happen to be on the court during these times when we need to get points, that's fine. But I mean, don't bring the clock down so you can make this hero shot in black and brown and just be like,
Here's the thing.
You know what I mean.
Here's the thing, though. At the end of the day, best case scenario for the Toronto Raptors is that Kyle Lowry is back, and we don't have to worry about Lou Williams taking these shots at the end of the quarter. Not the end of the quarter, but like down the stretch in the fourth quarter when it's more important.
And
right?
that's the thing, right?
We
It's
have
like,
Lowry to create and make plays and do that stuff.
and then that
that's
kind
the
of
hope.
weird cycle of injuries has like caused this giant like identity crisis
Exactly.
with the players. Like, who takes that shot? It should be fucking clear. And you're right. It's been historically Lou Williams, but it's not been working.
But I mean, the thing is, a lot of those shots too are like end of the first quarter, end of the second quarter.
Yeah.
Like, we don't really care about that stuff, anyways. I care more about like the end of the game, fourth quarter stuff, which I think would be more Kyle Lowry time, hopefully. But switching gears a little from one point guard to another, we saw one who is very popular around these parts being Canada,
Shout
Mr.
out.
Steve Nash, his fond farewell officially.
Yep.
I mean, he's been done for a while, but officially retired from the NBA. What are you guys' thoughts just in terms of Nash's lasting legacy?
Well, let Ryan start because he's white. I think it's very important for him.
I don't know. I haven't really thought about it a lot. It's funny too because he sort of hasn't been
Relevant
in a while. But I mean, what is he, third overall in
assists? Yep.
assists?
Yep.
Yeah.
That's pretty amazing.
behind Stockton and Jason Kidd.
Yeah, from a country that doesn't produce basketball players at all until recently.
Yeah.
To be a first ballot Hall of Famer, that's crazy. It's good for him.
So speaking of, as you just mentioned, sorry to cut you off, but
No.
just as you just mentioned, produced basketball players or NBA players until recently, one big topic of conversation has been the sudden rise of Canadian prospects. Who's more to blame for that? Is it Steve Nash or is it Vince Carter?
It's absolutely Vince Carter.
I think it's Vince Carter.
It's
Ooh,
Vince
absolutely.
Carter.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's Vince Carter and Steve Nash definitely had his impact, but no, it's Vince Carter.
I think Steve Nash's
It's Vince
impact
Carter
is
and the
different.
existence of the Toronto Raptors. Sorry, Vancouver. You will
Sorry,
fall
big
into the
country.
ocean one day.
Sorry, big country. Nobody's repping for Antonio Daniels, no?
And who? What, Sharif Abdur-Rahim?
Sharif.
Oh, man.
No, but I definitely think it's definitely more Vince Carter. He got people out of their seats. He's the reason why this this team's still in the city.
Yeah, man,
If
I
we didn't
think-
have him, it would who knows. But and that's the thing. So like a lot of the players, like you have a few players that are from the West Coast. Like who's that goofy guy on
Kelly
Boston?
Olynyk.
Yeah, you got Kelly Olynyk and stuff. And so in general, it just creates.
Hey, I knew who he was talking about
Yeah.
right away, right?
Well, he's just
So he looks like
long hair and he's
sunshine
tall.
from
Yeah,
all
yeah.
the Titans.
But for the most part, a lot of the people that have come to the league recently, your Andrew Wigginses, your Anthony Bennett's,
Tristan Thompson.
your Tristan Thompsons, like they're from here. They're from a 20-minute or a 20-kilometer radius from where
Yeah.
we are right now.
Depending on the Gardner traffic, yes.
Yeah, depending
yeah,
on
more or less.
I mean, it depends when you're driving. If you're driving like 5 o'clock in the morning, you're probably good. But I have a hard time. I feel like Nash came along much further after that point in terms of him being like a legit superstar.
Yeah.
Because he was really good with Dallas,
But he
and
didn't
then
blow.
in Phoenix he became a guy that elevated his entire team, and that obviously he never really.
Yeah.
I don't even
When
think
he
he
went-
did.
when
He
he
never
went
won a
to-
conference final. But like what I'm saying is like that at that age, all these guys like Anthony Bennett was not. He was a little bit maybe Wiggins was probably a little bit younger, so he might have been influenced by Steve Nash, despite like the position that they play and the size and the other factors. But a guy like Bennett and a few other of them. That like their formative years when they decided what they wanted to do was when Vince Carter was really good. Steve Nash was really good in like 2006 and 2007. So
Yeah.
I don't know. I just feel
I see
like
what you're saying.
when you catch people when they're like 12 years old and this and that, like I feel like it has
I
much
see
more
what
of
you're
an
saying.
impact.
Steve Nash didn't really have like his volume two. Why can't I remember what volume 2 is called? What's wrong
Life
with me right
and
now?
Times of Sean Carter. Is that the one?
In my
Volume
lifetime.
3.
Is that
In my
one?
lifetime.
Yeah.
Wow, what's wrong
Yeah,
with me?
in my
Disappointed in
lifetime.
myself. I'm
Well,
just
you
going to
guys,
shut up.
You guys.
Just gonna shut
But
up.
no, I feel that, man, because I think Ryan's right, man. I think like what the impact is different. Like Vince Carter brought a certain like brand of basketball, and it just happened to be in Toronto. So I think it just like we just totally benefited off each other. And he was just like, come on, like Vince Carter was the shit. In that year, that era NFL, wow, that era NBA,
Yeah.
you got the Iversons going,
Yeah.
you got Jay Will was doing this thing, Vince is dunking over everyone, so it was a very exciting brand of basketball. But then like Steve Nash is almost like hey,
You're
like,
very cerebral.
the real field general.
Game manager.
No, man, he still played with panache and like good style, but he was like,
Yeah.
fuck,
Oh,
I'm
no,
Canadian, like you said earlier, like from a country that does not typically produce high quality players. This is a guy that's like a league leading MVP kind of candidate. So it's almost like bringing a legitimacy now to all the kids that started playing and taking basketball more seriously because of Vince. Now it's like, okay, now you've got a Canadian star, so people are like, okay, this thing could actually
Vince's
be real.
biggest years in Canada, at least, or when he was hot shit. We're a little bit before Steve Nash's big hot shit years.
Yeah.
So I feel like in 2 years maybe we'll have a bunch of guys that want to play point guard. But I just feel like I hate Vince Carter with such a passion. It's amazing. Like when they had their thing and they're just like
Vince
trying
Carter
to do the
tribute night or whatever.
exactly like and I see all these people in the stands wearing their We the North stuff that weren't there when I was there. I'm still mad as hell. I'm not over it, Vince. You
I'm
listening?
not either.
Like I'm not over it. Like
No, I'm with
he
you. I'm
totally-
right there.
I will never get over that. I've never seen a player screw a team so much. But anyways, I'm past it. I'm not like mad anymore. Well, apparently.
Yeah, you're mad as hell right now.
No, but the impact that Vince Carter had, at least to sort of this area and sort of the people that I recognize is a lot more than Steve Nash had, and this like sort of age group and the people that are like 24, 25 now.
Mm-hmm.
That's what really made basketball what it is in this country, I think. Sorry, Steve. Like Steve's great, like obviously.
Hey,
But I mean, no one wants to be the guy that like dishes it to Dirk Nowitzki. They don't dream of that. They dream of
but Steve Nash was so nasty, man.
No. Hold up.
Crossing
Sorry.
people
Yeah,
and
I don't.
dropping threes.
I don't mean to disregard what he's done at all. I love Steve Nash. I think he's great.
Yeah.
But when you dream of dunking over large Frenchmen.
Yeah.
So,
That's different. Exactly.
Yeah.
different shit.
Like, we're all basketball fans. We're all, decently patriotic. Neither of us three have ever had a Steve Nash jersey. Right?
Nope.
To think about that for a second, like the only
I've never had a Vince jersey. I know what you mean.
I've had a Vince jersey. I've had many Raptors
I had a
jerseys.
Muggsy Bogues.
Nice. See? And like you
idea
do
why.
that
I got
before you get a Steve Nash jersey, even though he's Canadian, even though he's considered one of the best in the league.
Yeah.
We still wouldn't, you'd think we would. But
I do think the Eastern Conference, Western Conference thing probably affected that.
we didn't
quite a
see too
bit.
much of him, I guess.
That's true.
Yeah, we
That's
just
true.
don't.
We wouldn't, right? Like West Coast games, you got to think like at the time too, like the television, like stations didn't have the 5 different feeds that they have now to show the NBA.
Do you think this city would produce different basketball players if they saw more of Steve Nash?
Possibly. I think in this era, but I also think like one thing that's pretty cool that we were talking about the other day was the fact that if Twitter existed during the Vince Carter era, how much crazier would that have been? Right? Because I think when something happens now, like Blake Griffin shits on someone, it's on Twitter in like 20 seconds.
It's a
Vines,
Vine everywhere.
all that stuff, right? Like imagine Vince Carter, right?
Well,
Because like there's nothing
maybe
crazier
just-
than that 1 or 2 Vince Carter years when he was just like every single night on the highlight
Every single
reel.
night for like multiple years, and that's why I hate him with the
Most sincerest passion.
with such a passion. It's because I loved him with such a passion
Oh,
for
man.
so
Yeah.
long.
I remember.
It was you couldn't miss it. Like
No,
there were games you couldn't miss. Like for a long time, and miss those days.
It's so crazy to
We're
think.
going back to the playoffs, man.
Yeah, we're
going
back in the playoffs. Everything's good.
Funny enough that we've been and we hate Vince with a passion, at least some of us, whatever. And we've had.
What an asshole!
I know he's such a prick. And you think about it more, it's terrible. I'm not trying not to think about it too much, but I'm just saying like we've had good dunkers that have played for the Raptors almost all the time. They enter the dunk contest and they win in some cases. But when you get spoiled to knowing that you had Vince and he did all of his best work mostly wearing a Toronto jersey, you're like, fuck, who's going to step up to that? T. Ross did a decent job at the dunk off. DeMar's one dunk was nasty. When he scooped it under the basket, that was nasty.
Yeah.
Fred Jones, don't really remember what he was all about.
Fred Jones, wow.
He didn't win it with us.
Jamario Moon.
I'm not talking about necessarily like
What do you think? What do you think it would have been like if Nash played for the Raptors?
Well, I mean, he almost did play for the Raptors 3 years ago, and
No, but I
and
mean,
we
like when
would've
he was
taken-
actually good.
Like, what do you mean when he was like 2006? if he
Well,
played on the Raptors,
the thing was when they almost got him was when, or not when they almost, when Colangelo foolishly thought he had a chance of getting Nash instead of Lowry, which would have screwed the Raptors so much.
Yeah.
But beyond that, I mean, like just when he was still relevant in the NBA. What would that have been like if Nash was still like somewhere at the top tier of his career,
So that time it'd be like Steve Nash, Chris Bosh.
like doing work though?
Yeah.
Like when he was still an all-star. What do you think that would have been like? This whole We the North. Imagine that.
It
We
would have
the
been a
North
big
movement.
marketing play, that's for sure.
Imagine that We the North movement
But
with
it would
Steve
be-
Nash running the point instead of Jose Calderon.
It would, it would be such a letdown if there was no championship, and that's not really a championship team. Like, why would you come home and just to like play around? Might as well stay in LA or somewhere in
True.
the Southwest, right? Like,
True.
it would only make sense if there was like a concerted effort to be like, okay, we've got Chris Bosh, we've got maybe TJ Ford is still around at that time, and comes off the bench for Steve Nash.
TJ.
But you know what I mean? Like,
No, I know what you mean.
I never really like, and I'm sure Steve Nash feels the same way. It's like, come home to Canada. It's like, dude, like I grew up 6,000 kilometers that way.
Yeah.
I feel the same way. Like I sort of understand people on the East Coast of the States a little bit more than I do with the West Coasters.
Valid
No
point,
offense.
valid
Like,
point.
it's just like it's sort of a different lifestyle.
yeah, you shovel snow and you live in hellish weather for half the year. It's fucking
Yeah.
Valid
terrible.
point.
And you work hard.
You work hard.
Ouch.
Hard shifts, you guys.
there.
Hard
Ouch.
shifts. Yeah, we're taking this real deep right now with the work hard parts. But yeah, I mean, got love for Steve Nash, man. Ultimate love for Steve Nash.
Yeah, no, I didn't mean to diminish what he's done whatsoever. I apologize if it came off that way.
I'm
I just
crying.
feel like his impact on Canada or on Canadian athletes that we've seen the boom of in the past 2 years is a lot more Vince Carter than it is Steve Nash.
But hold on, one thing I will say before we move on to this, that he is pretty involved with Canada basketball, though, right?
Yeah, that's a good move now. What he's up to, yeah.
Is that that's just now?
He's a general manager of Canada basketball.
Okay. So his
his-
fingerprints.
that's
are,
his gig now.
He will be like.
it's a part-time gig from what I understand.
Basically,
No,
he puts
seriously,
in
yeah.
phone calls. He puts in phone calls to
Yeah.
get guys to play this summer. Like the Pan Am Games, he'll be calling dudes to be like, "Hey, come play on our team."
My name is Steve Nash. Perhaps you've heard of me.
Yeah.
amazing. Imagine getting called by Steve Nash.
Well, that was funny. I remember seeing there's a clip from the summertime. I'm pretty sure it was a Team Canada camp. Oh, excuse me. That was a beer burp. But pretty sure there's a clip from the summertime. And Tyler Ennis, I think, was working out with Team Canada, the ACC, and he just got drafted by the Phoenix Suns.
Okay.
And Nash still has a house in Phoenix, so he was asking Ennis if he'd found a place, like had they set him up anywhere there yet, and he was like, no, and Nash was like, oh, okay, well, we should talk, like I still got a place there, there's nothing there, like if you need something, whatever, like just
Amazing.
that alone,
Amazing.
right, just shows
Yeah.
kind of the mentorship, or like even seeing Pangos and Gonzaga still in
Yeah.
March Madness. Like someone asked him about Steve Nash, and he said, yeah, Nash called him,
Yeah.
or he texted with him or something, like
Sick.
earlier on in the season. Like that's got to be pretty cool for a Canadian kid playing
Right.
basketball to get that call.
And then the thing with him too is that that's a big part of it too, right? Like we had for a long time. And this is, again, no offense to other Canadian players that may have played in the league and we haven't
Shout
heard
out to
of you.
McGlure.
And
I didn't forget about you.
Jamal McGlure and the
Eastern.
Samuel Dallenbergs of the world, whatnot. But like, if you could have a very small
I would have bigged
percentage.
up Bill Wennington and Rick Fox. more than Samuel Dallenberg.
Rick Fox. He didn't celebrate his patriotism like Steve Nash does.
No, not at all.
Right? And
Not at all.
don't forget that Steve Nash comes from South African parents. Shout out South Africa.
True.
Got those genes. But
True.
no, like if you're gonna have one player, right, to represent your country, who could have done it better than Steve Nash?
Very true.
Right?
He's a good ambassador.
Good ambassador, good player, really, has that swag. He's very cool. He's
Yep.
funny, when he
Yep.
did those
Yep.
videos and things like that.
Yep.
But is also very had his own style on the basketball court. Super effective. You know what I mean? So yeah, I think it's all we could have really asked for, right? But now we're gonna see a lot more from guys like Wiggins and
Cool.
guys to follow. So that's good.
Definitely pretty cool. Something to look forward to. It was funny, as I said, we talked a lot about sports last week. We've now spent a half hour talking about sports again this week, so let's switch it up a little.
Very good.
Although you can't tell by the weather, summer should be on its way soon. There's a little thing called spring that we appear to be missing out on so far. But with that comes a lineup of summer music festivals in and around our area. I know you guys hit up a lot of that shit. Whether
From time to time.
The different festivals and all that. Has anything caught your eye so far in terms of
Very delayed on this.
music lineups or, any shows or...
There's been a bunch of lineups coming up. There's the new festival, Way Home Festival. It's going to be up north of Barrie, which could be pretty cool. A lot of people
North
are
of
excited
Barrie,
about that.
that's fun.
Yeah, like an event grounds.
Okay.
People can come up, camp.
But it's
do
like the
things.
Coachella people that are doing it. So
It's
should be
Bonnaroo,
legit.
in fact.
Or sorry, Bonnaroo.
Yeah, Bonnaroo folks are involved.
Okay.
In
Do we have do we know who's going to be there yet? When is that? Do we know when it is?
It's July, second week of July, I think it is.
Okay.
Second or third week. I'm a bit foggy on that. Sam Smith is going to be there.
Oh, great. Awesome. Let me get my
right.
tickets right now.
Who else is going to be there? Fuck.
What's the name of it again? I always
Way
forget.
Home. Way Home.
Way Home.
Way Home.
Yeah.
And it's not
so there's
close
that.
enough.
That's a new one. A lot of people are
Yeah.
excited about that.
Yeah.
Their branding and stuff is actually pretty cool from
Okay.
just the way how they position
If you're
that.
into that sort of thing.
If you're into that sort of thing, take a look. North by has a lot of cool hip hop acts coming down to Toronto.
That'll be dope.
Action Bronson's making his return. There's Ray Strummer's coming. Vince
Okay.
Staples is coming. So
Okay.
that's pretty cool.
Yeah, Berkeley Church right around town.
Yeah. So that's
Really? That's going to be the Really?
Come check
Oh, that's
Vince
kinda dope. I'll
Staples
check that. That's
in
dope.
Berkeley. That's going to be a jam.
Yeah, that'll be
for
dope.
sure.
That would be dope.
Don't know what Osheaga's saying right now, but usually they have similar acts that happens in Lollapalooza, and that's about to get to announce, unless maybe by the time you're listening to this, it might already be online. So who knows? But yeah, it's cool. I mean, it's getting increasingly expensive.
Yeah.
To go to festivals outside of your city.
Yeah.
Way Home will be cool. Electric Island's coming back this summer. I'm definitely gonna be at all those. Those are a lot of fun.
I gotta join you guys to one of those things. I gotta check that out.
Yeah,
Just
man.
because I've never done that, festival outdoorsy freaking shit.
I just looked at Way Home. So yeah, it is Sam Smith. And how is he a headliner? Like he's like a crooner kind of thing.
Yeah,
some people like that shit,
Yeah,
man.
Okay, but I mean an outdoor festival. But anyways, Kendrick Lamar is gonna be there.
There you go.
I'm
Okay.
just gonna say the ones that are relevant to me. Bass Nectar, if you're feeling wavy.
Yeah.
Wavy.
Passion Pit, which I've heard of. St. Vincent, I think people like those. The Sheepdogs, Run the Jewels, which are good.
Ooh, Run the Jewel.
And then a
hold
bunch
on.
of
That's-
people. I don't know.
That's kind of nice. I kind of like that.
No, it should be a lot of fun. I mean, like for the most part, it also allows you to get exposed to sort of different genres.
And that's right.
Exactly.
You learn some new music. You listen to some new bands. You're outside. Hopefully the weather's good. Knocking for a good summer.
Yeah.
Because last summer was kind of soft. Gotta say, weather-wise, it was pretty soft. So for good
Fact.
weather when you're outside, you're with lots of people. I personally love Osheaga a lot just
Yeah.
because of the area. The site is really cool, man. There's like forests and there's open areas.
Did you go last year? Or year
No,
before?
I haven't been. I went the year before.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
or 2 years ago. I don't know.
Okay.
It's been a
okay,
while.
Okay.
It's been a while. There's just too many. Like, where are you gonna
It
go,
is.
right?
How do you keep up?
And
Is it
costs
like-
pile up.
Yeah.
You can't all, sometimes you can get hookups, sometimes it's hard to. Like, if you look at the one long, like either Canada Day long weekend or like the Caribana weekend, there's like 4 or 5 festivals happening like
Yeah.
in tandem. So like
It's crazy.
OVO Fest is something that I haven't done yet,
Oh no.
but I would like to go.
I did. Speaking of, I did get my OVO tickets.
Yeah.
I am, as I mentioned before on this podcast, pretty sure I'm a Caribana baby. My birthday's August 3rd.
Shout out.
So it's always on that long weekend. And last year I went to. Oh, that gets horns, huh? Happy birthday to me
Yeah.
and Tom Brady. Yo, don't be mad at Tom.
Get your panties all in a bunch.
somewhat relevant.
There we go.
Not bad. Kind of
Anyways.
worked. Yeah, so last year, August 3rd was the first day of OVO, and that was Outcast.
Yeah.
And I will say, like, that was a dope show. Like, I mean, I like Outcast. I've always thought, like, we've grown up on it, and I've always thought Outcast was dope. But I didn't expect myself to enjoy that show as much as I did.
Really?
And then at the end, like, it was just really good. And then at the end, like, they did International Players Anthem, and Bun B came out too. And I was just like, and for some reason when the song started, I was like, oh shit, I totally forgot that Outkast was in this song. Like, it just doesn't. Yeah. 'Cause I always think of UGK. I don't know why, but I just associate that song with UGK. And then the beat like started. I was like, oh shit, and the place just got turned. Like, amazing. Oh, it was so good.
Oh, amazing.
So good. And a quick side note about that show. That was like the most Toronto moment I've had in a long time. I'll explain. So let me set the scene. I was there with one of my boys, and around us was just the eclectic mix that makes Toronto, Toronto.
Yeah.
So on my right-hand side, there's this white dude in like his 30s, has like glasses on, but he's like slow whining with his Asian girlfriend.
Shout out.
And my guy is like fully rapping word for word every single Outkast song the entire show. Guy like in his mid-30s, just getting down. In front of me to my left, there's like 4 fat black girls, and they just got their like so fresh and so clean, like 2-step on the entire show. Nice. Behind me, you got the 4 like brown dudes, like full turban, full beard, full everything. And at one point, I literally just stopped and looked around and took in what was going on around me, and I was just like, man, I fucking love this city. Like, it was just so like
beautiful mosaic,
right? Like, it was just like, it seemed fake. Like, if I wouldn't have been such a like creeper move, I probably would have like taken a picture or like a video just to like
some National Geographic shit.
Yeah, like the circle of friends that I was in, right? But it was just so cool and so amazing. So again, obviously this year, OVO comes up again. I'm like, oh, I'm down. This year, my birthday falls on the Monday, which would be the Drake day, and surprise guest. I'm like, I'm in. Let's do it.
It works out real well.
Yeah.
That works out real well. And
not a bad way to spend a birthday.
Yeah, I mean to go to OVO Fest. I want to just last year you were there. Were you there last year?
Yes.
Yeah, last year I just see the videos after the fact, and bro, like G-Unit, and I went to a G-Unit concert in university in Montreal.
Okay.
And it was amazing. Like, I had such a good time.
I didn't know what you were gonna say there.
No, it was.
I didn't know where
good.
you were going. If it was gonna be good or bad.
It was funny. It was a while after In the Club had come out, and I think I just said In the Club.
In the Club.
Yeah, thank you. And it was funny because it was a while after that had come out. G-Unit like album had come out and stuff.
Is Yayo still locked up at the time, or was Tony Yayo there?
Well, no, actually, no. I think he was locked up. So
you can't see right now.
It was him, Lloyd Banks, and Young Buck, and it was funny. So once again, in the club,
nice
as they're wont to say. What had been out for a long time, so it was like beyond played out. I remember when it came on, everyone was just like, for like a second, and then within like 30 seconds, there was like, oh, wait a tick.
Well,
this is a really good song.
Yeah.
And like, it was a lot of fun. So that's the thing. Like at OVO Fest, I mean, it's funny you'd be able to watch like a bunch of artists that you like, or probably maybe a handful that you don't. But then, if you have that surprise element, it's definitely very cool. So good on Drake.
They do a good job.
They do a good job.
They do a
good
job.
Better and better, or bigger and bigger every year. So, like, I think part of it this year is Kevin Hart, which I don't really care about.
At the ACC, it's interesting.
Yeah, which I don't really care about that much, but I'm sure some people care.
Sure.
Kevin Hart.
I don't care about
Drop it into comedy. It's going to become the OVO variety show eventually. Who knows?
Who knows?
Right?
Who knows, right?
Who knows? It's not bad.
Knows?
But there's a lot to do, which is good.
And it's still Caribana.
Of course. Let's not forget about the main attraction, Caribana.
Right.
Oh, my goodness.
Oh, that's why I don't go to OVO Fest. Because I put my khakis on.
All white people, like, leave the city.
It's because I put my khakis on and I get the fuck out of Dodge.
Well, it's always funny, too. My birthday's always really funny because obviously growing up in the city of Toronto, you have an eclectic mix of friends. But that August long weekend, like, all my white friends are gone. Right? They're all gone.
It's a good cottage weekend.
Yeah, hey, no problem. I understand. I get it. No problem. But people are always like, oh, I'm sorry, man. I'm out of town. It's like, it's okay. I expect you to be out of town.
Yeah.
I wouldn't expect anything less.
Yeah, move. My cousin's coming with his Suburban.
We're on our Rob.
Take your car with you. I need space to park that thing.
Although I wish I could call Coop right now because he would tell you one of the funniest stories. And we probably still in high school or maybe a year out. And it was a Caribana Friday night, which if you're of our age group,
Yeah.
you would remember Caribana Friday nights back in the day before now when they kick everyone off the street and tell you you're not allowed to stand on Yonge Street.
That's right. Yeah,
But
yeah.
back in the day, Yonge Street was a jam
That was
on
the jam,
Friday
yeah.
nights. Every single Friday, Friday of Caribana, people would be lined up from past Queen all the way up to, I don't know, Bloor, if that far, I don't know. But it
Yeah.
would just be a crazy gong show of people playing music on street corners, cars just driving up and down,
Yeah.
girls walking up and down. But my boy Coop, who I keep
I'd
bringing
call the
up on this
police.
podcast.
I would call the police.
Oh, the police are there in full force. Police
I'd call
dogs.
more police.
They got. Well, it was funny you mentioned that because there was actually one year where it was a big thing in the paper because I think the Sun or Star did some investigation about how on Caribana weekend a bunch of police officers called in sick just because they didn't want to work that weekend. But like the Caribana Friday would be crazy, right? Because they're like lined up and they're rolling squad
that's
deep,
a good-
trying to
that's-
kick people off the street.
But
so
that's
this
a-
doesn't happen anymore.
That's a good demonstration of the difference, like, you know, how Canada's like great and eclectic and stuff, because, you know, in Toronto, they'd be like, I don't want to work it. I don't want to deal with it right now. In the States, they'd be like, sign me up. I've been polishing my baton for fucking months.
Just waiting to like fuck up some little Negroes or
Yeah,
something.
exactly. It's America. It's on the flag. Like, there's a symbol.
That one was on point.
That
one
was
on
pretty
point.
good.
There you go.
No, but it was just super funny. But I bring this up because Coop would tell this story of some dude rolling up and he's got the spinners.
Yeah,
Right
yeah.
when the spinners were in, and dude just playing, I'm riding spinners. I'm riding spinners. They don't stop. I'm riding spinners.
I bet he had that
I'm
on
riding
repeat.
Oh,
the
so
entire
funny.
time.
And of course, like the Popeyes is just that
Yeah.
Popeyes on Yonge Street.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, that shit didn't close. That shit was
man.
open all night because
I love it.
It was just jam packed.
Oh, man.
And for sure, like anytime I think of that Clip song, you know, that Clips in Cameron song.
Oh, yeah.
All I think about is Caribana Friday night because that Popeyes, everyone was outside the Popeyes eating chicken and fries. Oh, Caribana.
I love Popeyes. When have you had Popeyes last? I haven't had Popeyes in
Probably-
a while.
It was,
I think I had it
literally
a month ago.
I think I had it about a month ago. Actually,
Yeah, I think I had it a month ago.
It was brought to me. It wasn't my idea, and I'm like, thank you.
Oh man,
Thank you.
I'm half stepping on my
Funny
Popeyes
story,
flex.
actually, about 2 months ago, we were at work, and this guy, one of my friends, I'll just call him, his last name is Low, and I call him Get Low.
Word.
We're trying to figure out something to eat, to order for dinner. And it was like a Saturday or something. And he's like, someone came up with the idea, let's order Popeyes.
Bless.
And I was like, really? Okay, cool. So Low goes to me. He's like, oh, do you have the phone number in your phone? And I'm like, what the fuck? You expect a black guy to just have Popeyes' phone number in his phone? And like, I'm joking around, right?
Yeah,
but like,
yeah.
in his mind, he realized what he said when he said it. And the look on his face is just like, I mean, and I just start like bursting out laughing because it's so funny. It's like, actually, no, I don't have Popeyes' phone number in my phone. But
We
I
all
can
should,
Google
frankly.
it. We all should.
I do. It's all good.
Of course you do.
It's all good.
No, you don't.
Well, technically, it's in all of our phones because we've got the Google.
The Googles.
So
Get your Googles out.
You can just holler at Googles. Googles will find you what you need. But yeah, shout out to Popeyes. But going back to the music festival tip.
Yes.
lot
Sorry, I took
going
us
on.
off on like a weird tangent there.
No. Popeyes is not a weird tangent. Neither is Caribana. These are all lovely things. I don't know. I haven't gotten any tickets to anything. Sometimes my move is just like finding out where I can go for free and just go there for said free
Nothing
and
wrong
drink
with that.
tickets. That's kind of been my move because I've been working in that industry, so it's a bit different. But
Nothing wrong with that.
in all honesty, too, though, outside of North by, I haven't really seen a lineup that's got me really hyped. Obviously, OVO for sure. Like, you never know who's going to come out on the Drake and Friends days. That's special. That's
Yeah,
you get an
that's
opportunity to
random.
go, you should go.
It's random.
But like, for example, Way Home. There's some cool stuff there.
Yeah.
Do I want to camp that weekend up there for that and spend that money?
Do you want to go to Barrie?
I don't know about that.
I want to camp, man. I
I
don't
don't
give
know
a
about
shit.
that.
I want to go
If
see
you guys
like.
do end up doing that though, I would consider it because I never do that shit.
No, and that's true. And that's the
I've
whole
never-
thing, right? It's like, am I too stubborn or something?
I've never
Like,
done the camping thing. I'd love
Neither
to do
have
it.
I.
I don't even care who's there. Fucking Loverboy.
Oh, come on. I would go camp out to watch
Loverboy.
Loverboy. Are you kidding me?
Loverboy Kim Mitchell, man.
What? That's the best party ever. Are you
Yeah.
kidding me?
And at the end of the
That's
day,
a
too,
jam.
like how bombed would you be anyway? So who cares about like sleeping? Like
No, for sure. It's
I mean,
it's a
you'd be
jam.
so it's a jam nonstop. You'd be so fucked up
Yeah.
anyways. Be a
And-
good time.
And then I would also like I'd ask you the question that when you see these like festival tours, right,
Mm-hmm.
or all these festivals popping up over the summer, you'll find that artists are actually touring them. So you'll find the
Yeah,
same,
yeah.
similar, if not the exact same lineup. You'll find like common, like they might be common headliners if there's festivals
Yeah.
that are the same weekend or same week,
Yeah,
right?
yeah, yeah.
So then the question is okay, like would you spend the money to go camping in Barrie, rent the car, whatever you need to do that, or do you spend a couple extra bucks and go to something in New York City or go to something in Chicago or go
Valid
to something, you know?
That's always your thing.
I like
And-
to travel, man. I just, you know,
And you can
That's
knock
always
off
your-
more birds in
Correct.
like, you know.
Hey
Exactly.
man, if you're introducing a flight to the situation, it's completely different than what we're talking about.
That's true. That's true. But maybe driving distance, I don't know. I mean, I know people who've driven to Bonnaroo.
Yeah.
I mean, it's a heavy drive, but you can drive there.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? So I know you're right. It's a different thing. But then you look at it like it's
no
almost
need-
vacationing.
You can do both, but don't like look at it that way. Like experience that shit. Like go to Barrie, fucking enjoy yourself.
I don't know
You
if I can.
No, but that's what I'm saying. No, but that's what I'm saying.
I'm sure
Like,
they have bars in Barrie.
no, but that's what
Oh,
I'm saying.
of course.
If
Well,
there's a-
you're north of Barrie, so you're really like you're in the country. You're jamming.
Oh,
Like it's a
okay,
jam
okay,
in the
okay,
country.
yeah, okay,
right?
okay.
Like 100,000 people are going to be camping and partying.
I don't weigh the pros and cons of like every trip I want to go on and then be like, well, it could be New York because I know New York's gonna be great. Just like
Well,
see something
that's
different.
the answer. Like,
Well, okay.
Like,
well,
holy
yeah.
shit, there's like, yeah, there you go. Like, because it could rain fucking one day, and then I'm like, oh, I'm just going to be in this, you know, inside venue in New York and drink my happy hour beers and eat my happy hour food and just end up going to a jam where, who knows, maybe Just Blaze is DJing there because that's what kind of happens in that city.
Just Blaze.
So, no, and I hear you, though. It's totally different things. When you do introduce a flight, it becomes different, but it's something that crosses our mind. And think of us, like, at this age, a lot of the friends that are listening to this type of stuff, we all got jobs and shit. Like, can't take off too much time off
True,
work.
true,
Your
true.
vacation
Gotta
time
pick
is
your
your
spots.
vacation time. Exactly. So, do you go see a music festival somewhere else, or do you see it, you know, local? Like, when I consider Osheaga, right?
Yeah.
Like, Osheaga, I love that festival. I love where it's at, but it's like, you know, drive hotel or whatever to Montreal.
It's weird how that works, like in your brain too. Because I go for like lunch and stuff, and I went to some place today, like
More sushi or what?
No, something along, yeah, but something along those lines. Like I went to just some place today, and I was just like looking at the menu, and it's not like cost is the biggest thing, but I got like a pasta for like $11, and there were pastas for like $16.
Yeah.
And I'm not doing that for lunch when it's takeout. It's just not happening.
Yeah.
And then like on the weekend, I'm just like, maybe I'll drink 200 beer,
Yeah.
and maybe I'll take
Yeah.
15 cabs.
Yeah, yeah,
You
exactly.
know? It's just
Exactly.
weird how that works.
Isn't it?
It's so true.
It's weird, man. I'm on my fucking personal accounting software tip, man. I'm on all that shit, man.
Yeah.
Shout out to mint.com, free plug. It's
How's it
free.
going?
It's fine. You
Yeah.
just look exactly what Ryan says. You kind of know what you're spending your money on.
But it puts it
This
in
shows you
ways in it.
exactly how much you're spending your money and where, and like,
See, yeah,
and you're like, wow, that's a lot of cabs. Holy shit, that's a lot of booze. That's a big alcohol night.
Yeah,
That's a big alcohol
I
night.
think that would make me kind of depressed.
I don't think so, man. I think it's good to know about these things because then that could afford
it's
the music
like,
festival or the trip.
True,
or,
true,
right?
true, true,
The
true.
the truth hurts.
I'm just
and,
throwing hundreds.
Yeah,
Yeah.
Not good.
it's never enough, man. Money runs out. You gotta make mo. And then it
I
just
don't know.
never becomes enough.
I
Real.
feel like a beer's the kind of guy where you're just like, oh, here's an idea for a weekend. It's just like, how about instead of this place, you know, we go elsewhere. It becomes really expensive. But actually, it was funny. So a friend of
Shout
ours.
out.
No, actually, sorry. I just went on. It
Ryan's
crossed
mad
my-
as
so
hell.
a friend of ours is getting married, and
Hey.
and a beer and I are in the wedding party, and we're going to New
Hey.
York for the bachelor party.
Has it happened already or no?
No,
No,
it's
it's
happening in, when is it, July?
July, yeah.
Okay,
Yeah.
okay.
It should be really good. But so when we were weighing all the options of like where to go,
Yeah.
my idea was Sochi.
I like that.
ruble is in the ground. We could take advantage of that ruble and have a fucking.
Is this serious? Like this wasn't your serious pitch.
This was my serious pitch. We could go to Sochi, Russia, and we could fucking tear it up. But my only concern would be that a beer would get hate crimed.
Yeah, I know. Yeah, when I was looking at like bargain flights to Crimea, then we could take a bus from there.
We'd be stacking rubles, man. Stacking. Fly out there would cost like a decent amount, more than New York.
Just
which
making
is
it
like
rain.
a hop, skip, and a jump from Sean.
Just making it rain.
Ooh, man. Sochi. They built that city from like a wasteland. It's nothing.
It's a beach vacation town, isn't it? I think it's a beach vacation town, like South Russia, and they've got
It's
like
It's just one big sinkhole.
Which
We
one?
Built this city. Is that a song?
Yeah,
I think so.
Oh, okay.
on rock and roll.
And we could
Why
go
I'm here, the white guy.
Yeah,
we
I
could
knew it was
play
some
like
white guy song.
fucking play speed skating in like the abandoned facility they've built there. We could do that. But like that's the thing, man. I enjoy traveling. I look at every opportunity where it's like, okay, we want to go
Nothing wrong
doing
with
something.
that.
It's like we were actually having, me and Ryan were having this conversation a while ago, talking about cottages and stuff, and like renting a cottage because all of our friends don't invite us to their cottages anymore. Yeah, I put y'all on blast, so y'all invite us no more because we ain't got no cottages. You know what I'm saying? So you know,
I was actually at a cottage on
You
Saturday.
have got to be kidding.
so you know,
Really?
I was. My jacket smells like a fucking like Wilford Brimley. We were in front of we were in front of the campfire essentially for like 8 hours. Like,
oh well, yeah, I missed that.
smell my jacket, fans. Smell my jacket.
But it's like you look at that, it's like look at the cost of like even doing a cottage weekend in Northern Ontario or whatever, renting a cottage and car or whatever the case is.
Cost guap.
It costs squat, man. You know, you got Airbnb and shit. You've got Porter having sales like every 2 weeks for some 50% off this, that, and the other.
Let's just go somewhere. We got points.
You got points.
I'm on my card points game now.
Oh, I'm all over my point. I'm a fiend for the points. Fiending for the points.
I'm on my
Yeah,
points
so that's the thing. So Ryan, I apologize. I do think of things that way because I think sometimes you got to go to a place that just you're not familiar with. Just soak it in.
It's fair.
Well, no, that was the opposite of what you said earlier. It was like not go to Barrie to like a festival that's never
Yeah, but I don't
happened
wanna go-
before, and then go to New York City.
Yeah, exactly. New York City is not Barrie. In case you haven't noticed, I know you've been to New York. I know you've been to Barrie, but think about that for a
Have you
second.
been to Barrie?
But that's the thing. Like Northern Ontario, I love it, but I've seen a lot of Northern Ontario. Want to see some other places, right?
But I feel like you wind the tape back 30 seconds. The conversation we were just having, you said want to see something new.
Yeah, I've seen Barrie. I've seen Northern Ontario.
Don't get me wrong.
I'm just saying, go
there's a
somewhere
lot
like-
less to see of Barrie than there is of New York City.
And don't get me wrong, I'm not trying to talk shit about the Way Home Festival whatsoever. I'm just saying that, I'm just saying, right? There's a music festival in Iceland in August.
That'd be kind of dope.
Right? It's like a 4.5 hour flight. There's deals.
like that's the thing. That's why you don't propose these things to a beer. And it's just like, oh, we can get like a $3,000 flight to Iceland instead of like renting fucking taking a go bus
I knew
or
an
like
Icelandic
driving
chick
one of
before.
our cars.
What's that?
I knew an Icelandic girl before.
Oh, yeah.
She was crazy dope too.
Okay. So, there you go.
Yeah.
I'm sold.
That's it. That's it. That's
No,
it.
well,
That's all I got.
there you go. Well, look, this is the thing.
I met
right?
one Icelandic person in my life. That's
awesome.
Hey, maybe instead of going out for lunch today, we should fucking fly around the world. Let's do that.
Let's do it. I'm in.
Yeah.
I'm in.
Point me in the direction. I'm into it, man.
Porter.
Let's do it.
Let's go.
It's not even a joke, man. Like, fuck.
Porter, let's
do
go.
it.
Island Airport. We can get in and out.
See, there you go.
Your accountant probably has no hair.
So he's doing okay.
Absolutely.
He's doing fine.
Absolutely no hair.
He's doing fine, man. I love traveling though, man. I love traveling. I think when you travel, you always have a better time when you're there with purpose. Like, for example, we're going to New York for, a friend's, bachelor party or whatever, right? So, like, there you go. There's a purpose for the trip. You go to a different location for a music festival. That gives us the purpose. We go to Montreal for car racing. It helps
Yeah,
form.
have you guys plotted out your Montreal trip this year yet?
Been plotted out.
Ready
That
to
shit
go.
was ready from January, man. We
Ready
got
to
some.
go. I
We have some very enthusiastic members of the team.
We
who,
do.
I
Also like the people that make you re-up to the tickets are very enthusiastic as well. So like literally 2 or 3 weeks after the race happened last year. So this is
is
June.
already
This
like,
is like the end of June. They're like, hey, you're gonna want to have to buy your tickets for like $600, or you're not getting them again. And I'm just like, well, okay, like
They
so
pimp you
just
hard
do it.
like that, man. They get you on that, but hey, that's their job. They put out a decent product, so I'm cool with that.
Yeah.
But so that's happening, and so sometimes it makes a trip. It gives a trip a certain thematic, a certain pace,
Nothing wrong
and
with
whatever.
that.
So hey, look, if it is Barrie, if it's north of Barrie,
If
then
it's Barrie, if it's
Fine.
some Greenland,
power to you.
Shouts to music festivals at the end of the day. Shouts
Yeah,
to
man.
music festivals.
We have. You know what? I think it's a good problem to have because we have so many fucking
For sure.
options.
For sure.
So
It
whatever
just
you
makes
want.
me dream of summer even more because there's so much to do in the summer in
It seems
this
so
city.
far away, though, man.
It does because it was snowing today.
did snow.
That's
Seems so
fucked up.
far away because, the weather is it's tiptoeing around zero and this and that, man. We just gotta get that shit sorted. Gotta get it sorted. Get that heat. Get some leaves on the trees.
Yep.
Out this motherfucker. Get them.
Just some sun. I just want to sit on a patio.
Yes.
Is that too much to ask? Sit on a patio.
Still a very underserved area of the city.
Fact.
Holler at me, patios, restaurant owners. Get your shit together. Fix your roofs. Put us up there. Put some tables up there, and we'll be there. We'll come to you.
Sold.
Yeah, we get so little sun in this fucking wasteland we live in.
Concrete
And
jungle.
then when the summer comes around, just try to pack in as much as possibly can. Like I said, I take vitamin D pills because I don't want to fucking jump out the window.
Yeah, I gotta catch up on those motherfucking things. We gotta do that, man. Gotta do that. But hopefully soon. What are we? We're almost April now. April should bring the thaw, bring some fucking showers, clean up the gunk that's on the side of the city, streets and whatnot. It's kind of gross.
Yeah. So we're talking about music, city of Toronto and music festivals. Let's talk a little different side of music. There's something I pitched, which Greg was the only one kind of into talking about. But I asked, have you guys seen Empire?
No,
Speaking of music, no?
heard of it.
No,
Have you watched, do you know anything about it at all?
I've sort of gone out of my way to not know what it is, and for no particular reason other than it seems to be really popular and Terrence Howard's in it. So I'm like, nope.
I'll say this much. Taraji P. Henson is dope. She's so good on that show and funny on that show. But
Is she that guy from Breaking 2?
that guy, oh jeez. Damn, how you going to diss Taraji P. like that, man? That kind of fit. That kind of worked. That kind of fit.
Marginal points.
Oh, thank you. Thank you. Trying hard out here, you guys.
I'm not mad at Taraji P. But I do understand why you're skeptical of the show because I was quite skeptical too. And I'll be honest, I watch it more so to laugh at it
Yeah.
more so than I'm laughing with it. I'm clearly laughing at points where they did not intend, when the director or the writer was writing said script, it does not say laughs here. Do you know what I mean? But
Very insightful moment.
yeah.
Yet Sheldon laughs hysterically.
I'm laughing hysterically because they'll be having a really super serious moment and then they break into a song and dance and it's okay, this.
Oh, is it a musical?
Sometimes it borders on that.
Whoa.
There's heavy.
Wow.
Yeah, it's
Wow.
weird.
Thought I didn't want to see it before.
Oh, it's
So
super
it's
weird.
like
I'm not gonna call
Glee?
it. So this is funny. You mentioned
Jesus.
that
I don't
50
know.
50 was on the Breakfast Club, right? Because really the reason I bring this up more so is because the big deal that this show has caused because it's a predominantly black or quote unquote urban show
Urban, yes,
that is
yes,
now
yes.
dominating the television ratings.
Athletic show.
Very athletic show.
Athletic, good hops show that is dominating the ratings in the United States and doing pretty well in Canada as well. But I bring this up because I'm more interested in the aspect of why this show would be popular as opposed to everything else. And it's funny you mentioned the Black Glee because 50 was on the Breakfast Club.
Yeah.
And 50, if you haven't seen it, he has a show that airs in the States on Stars, I think, or some random cable network in the States. I don't think it's in Canada, but it's called Power. 50 show's called Power, right?
Okay.
And it's another urban show But I would describe it more as you have like two main characters that you would describe as like one guy's white, one guy's black, but you describe them as a Stringer and Avon type.
Got it.
You know, one guy's trying to do
man.
Yeah, one guy's trying to do the business route. The other guy's still hard in the streets.
Let me guess
they're partners.
which one is
No, it's not what you think.
Really?
The white guy's the hard
Is
guy.
it with John Rappaport or Michael
Rappaport is not. They probably couldn't afford. They probably couldn't afford Michael Rappaport.
LL Cool J is
jeez.
is CBS's white friend or black friend. Michael Rappaport is like BT's white friend.
I got you. I see what you did there.
That makes sense.
I see what you did there.
Sorry, but go on.
But no, I was saying, so 50 was on the Breakfast Club, and he was kind of like laughing at the fact that Empire's become so popular because he's thinking he's the one that really came up with the show to hit this whole urban market. But now Empire, everyone's talking about Empire to the point where 50 for this season of his show, which again is called Power, they have a promo that says every empire started with power. Ha ha ha, see what he did there.
Wow,
He's trying to take shots.
There we go.
And like he described Empire as the Black Glee because he's like sometimes they just break into a musical and it's completely ridiculous.
So essentially,
like completely stupid.
The moral of the story is 50 can create beef anywhere. Like
For sure.
he can create like
Yes.
he can create beef like on television, in music, in person. I'm sure.
Yep.
Yeah.
And like to Empire, to me, like they just tried to hit every single stereotype possible, like hit every corner. So like the premise of the show is that Terrence Howard is some music mogul who is dying. As the show starts, like he finds out he's sick and he's dying, and it's who is he gonna leave his company to? And his company's about to launch and go public, and he has one son who's like the rapper. And then his other son is like a gay R&B singer. And then his third son is like the business guy who like went to whatever, Harvard or some shit. I don't know.
He doesn't have like a shithead kid?
No.
The rapper kid,
I guess
maybe?
it would be the rapper
Well, yeah,
kid.
I guess the rapper kid.
Who
But at least he's doing something. He's not just sitting on the couch.
He's rapping. And like Timberland is like the music producer.
That's what I've heard about that.
On the
Yeah,
show.
that's one thing
And
I've
so
heard.
like they have like songs and stuff. Like I'll be playing songs in the morning and like some song from Empire will come on and I'm like, really? Like skip? Like what the fuck? No,
Is the music good?
Some of it's all right. I won't lie. Some of it's actually all right. And
Okay.
the other big thing they do on the show is they have a lot of special guest appearances
Okay.
by like real people. Like Snoop
Yeah.
will come on and be himself, you know, and perform a song with one of the sons or some shit like that.
Wow, I still can't get over that.
I can't even like
They have a
picture
lot of
what this
legitimate-
show looks like.
I'm telling you, you have to just like the first season's over now, right? The first season's over.
Variety hour.
The first season just ended, but I'm telling you, this is my plea. If you have not seen this show, just watch one episode.
I don't want to do it, man.
No, I'm just
I just
saying,
don't want to do it.
Here's my thing. Just watch one episode. I'm not saying to watch it because it's like a great television show. I'm just saying watch it for the experience because it is hilarious. Especially if you watch the first episode.
Yeah.
Because I will say it got less and less ridiculous as it went along. But the first episode in particular is completely ridiculous.
What channel is this on?
Fox.
It's Fox. So.
Yeah.
No.
Which is the other big thing because like network TV doesn't really have good dramas anymore, right?
Yeah,
Like if you've been watching March Madness and all, they keep promoting CSI Cyber.
Oh,
which starts,
yeah.
like-
Patricia Arquette or whatever.
Hold on. Lil Bow Wow and Dawson.
Oh, yeah? How about that?
Like, just think about that for a second.
How about that?
CSI Cyber.
Oh,
You gotta pay the
man.
bills, man.
You got to pay the bills.
Something.
I believe he's Bow Wow now.
Yeah, he's not. I think he dropped Lil, right?
I don't even know if he calls himself by his
It's Christian
by
now.
Lil Bow Wow. I think he's like the real whatever his real name is.
Clarence. Wow.
That was when you're supposed to
I
hit.
know. The thing fucking. You know what, Sheldon? You know, you're more experienced at this than I am.
It's funny. I saw this.
Let's try that again. What's Bow Wow's real name? Thank you, everybody. Good night.
Still funny.
I hope that works because I don't know what that is, but I'm gonna look at it afterwards. You know, it's funny. There is this movie that came out recently called The Cobbler. It's a turd starring
jeez.
Adam Sandler
jeez.
and what's it called? So I watched the preview for it for whatever reason. Well, actually, I won't say with the reason why I watched the preview.
Okay.
Okay.
No, it has to do with my professional life. But anyways, and Method Man, Thank you.
Yeah. Shout
Method
out.
Man's in it, and
Okay.
at the end of the thing, would they like lay out all the names of the people that are in this film, and it says like whatever the hell Method Man's name is, like Clarence, and then in parentheses it's like Method Man, like Johnson, let's say, whatever the hell his name is, and I'm just like, dude, you're Method Man, like you're 45, like that time that the ship has sailed.
Yeah.
You are Method Man.
Or he could be
Luda tries to
Cheese
do that too,
Wagstaff.
right? Luda tries to do that too.
You should be Cheese Wagstaff.
You're Cheese Wagstaff more than your real name.
Exactly.
And like more than your real name. Or more than Cheese Wagstaff. You're
Like
you're
Ludacris'
Method
name
Man.
is Chris Bridges.
You had
I
a
think?
Something like that. Yeah.
And he tries to do that too, or tried to do that in certain movies. Go with his government's name.
Yeah. And like the Andre 3000, like you're not.
You're 3 stacks.
Yeah, he's 3 stacks.
You
yeah.
are 3 stacks. Like
And I don't even think Andre Benjamin is his real name either, right? Like Andre Benjamin sounds way too Francais.
it is very Francais.
Yeah.
But he is like south in the States. You know we got those Acadians down there.
Oh, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Oh, for sure.
Yeah. So we just elevated people.
So I think like
There we go.
we're past the hour mark, but I will just wrap this up by making the plea that please, I'm not asking you to watch the full season
Oh man.
of Empire. I'm not asking you to even watch a full episode. I'm just
think
saying go to even like YouTube, and you know how like they'll probably just have like scenes. Just watch like a couple scenes.
I
Just
think it's-
because and the reason I say this is A, the unintentional comedy factor will be entertainment value enough. B, Taraji P. Henson, she plays Cookie, who is Terrence Howard's
Of course her name is
estranged-
Cookie.
Exactly.
No.
Cookie Lyons.
Cookie
First off, Terrence Howard's name is Lucius Lyons.
Oh, nice. Nice.
Right? Like, I'm just saying,
Nice.
the unintentional comedy in this show is amazing.
I feel like
But-
this was like the series was written in a hair salon.
Probably. But like, I'm telling you, just
I'm gonna let
so
you.
Terrence Howard,
I'm probably not gonna watch like
just watch a scene.
half a second of it unless I have the flu.
Okay, do you know what? We're gonna get drunk one day. And I'm gonna turn on like an episode and force you guys to watch just one episode. That's all I ask.
Okay.
Viewers, please, if you're listening to this, just tweet these guys as to reasons why they should watch Empire. And next week, I will read some of those reasons that people tweet to us.
There you go. All right, fine.
As
Let's
to
check it
why
out.
We should watch just a scene.
All right.
Just a scene.
I just
of
can't
Empire.
really.
do it for Timbo.
I can't consume entertainment in the form of a musical, though. I just can't do that. But Timbo,
It's kind of stupid. I'm fully admitting
Yeah.
it is kind of stupid. But in its stupidness, there are mad jokes.
I feel
That's
like
all.
me personally. Sorry, I don't know. I
Hold
know
on,
we.
white
I know
people are
we.
even in on it too.
No,
You can't get 16 million
Well, no,
people to
so,
watch
like-
in the States and not have a lot of those people be white.
that's true.
Yeah, no, but I like for me, I just I'm very aware that one day I'm gonna die, and I don't want to spend my time watching schlock. So like, it's not just Empire, which I like. From what I've heard, is schlock. Like, I don't want to be like, oh, it was stupid but funny when I watched like The Expendables because they're old. Like, I don't give a shit. We're all gonna die. Okay, the sun is gonna explode one day. So
I don't even know
anyway,
what that one was.
I just don't. I kind of don't want to waste any.
Again, I'll leave it to the people. I'll leave it to the people. And
Oh, man.
on that note,
I'm a fire in my laser.
See you next time, folks.
see you next time. Shout out to Greg.
We all die one day.
My whip drop like bitches' asses. Cargo, ready to package. Paid up. I see haters watching, so fucking turn it up. Let these bitches drop it. My whip drop like bitches' asses. Cargo.